Look at verse number 3. It says that the scribes and the Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery. When they had set her in the midst, they say unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned, but what sayest thou? This they said, tempting him that they might have to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground, and as though he heard them not. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground, and they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last, and Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. When Jesus had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Hath no man condemned thee? She said, No man, Lord. Jesus said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. Look at your neighbor and say, Neighbor, we're going to talk about while I was in it, God didn't give up on me. You may be seated. While I was in it, God didn't give up on me. I want to let you know right now in this life you will have some trials and some tribulations. But while you are in them, God is not going to give up on you. I want to tell you right now that even though right now it seems like it might be a down part for you, you might seem like I'm just tired, I've done all that I can do, I'm stressed to the max. I want to let you know that God still will not give up on you. Even though it seems like you're in a storm and it seems like the storm has yet to pass, when is the sun going to shine? God still is not going to give up on you. Amen. One thing here for us to be reminded of is how much God loves us, how much God cares for us. Y'all know I like to teach the text, y'all, so let me teach the text. Verse 3 says, And the scribes and the Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery, and when they had set her in the midst, they brought to Jesus a woman who had been caught in adultery, a woman who had been caught with sleeping with somebody that she shouldn't have been sleeping with. They brought to him a woman who was caught in the very act. Even though they brought to him this woman that was caught in the very act, they were going to Jesus to try to even accuse him. What is it that we're going to do with this woman? This woman has sinned. We done caught her sinning. So Moses said that we're supposed to stone her. So what is it that we're going to do with this woman? We saw the very act, but I raised the question of, if you saw the very act, what were you doing watching? Let me fix the text, y'all. You saw the very act, but you shouldn't have been watching. I'm trying to help somebody, because you have to watch what your eyes see, because that's what you're going to allow to go into you. I'm preaching to y'all, ain't saying nothing. And a whole lot of us have seen a lot of things, and now it has affected us and who we are because of what we've been watching.
That's good.
Let me fix the text, y'all. You mean to tell me this woman was caught in the act, and guess what? Just because she was caught in the act of adultery doesn't make her any different than some of us who just lie all the time. It doesn't make us any different. I'm trying to preach to somebody. It doesn't make us any different. Sin is sin no matter how you want to look at it. It is the act of sin. That is the issue with sin. So here it is. This woman is caught in adultery. You got all of these men who is wanting to bring her to justice. We're going to get her because the law says we're supposed to stone her. How many times don't you realize that we all make mistakes, and that every time that somebody was trying to bring us up to Jesus and y'all need to kill us because we messed up? We made a mistake. We fell short. We sat there and we got out of the way, and so now because we got out of the way, now everybody wants to talk about us, everybody wants to condemn us. But guess what? God is above everything that people says about you. I wish I could fix this. Because oftentimes we're around people who sit there and say that you'll never amount to anything. powerful.
Thank you, Lord.
You worried about the wrong thing. No, they ain't got no power. No, don't pay attention to them because there's no place that they can put you. You see, you have to pay attention to what you look at. Y'all, I ain't got number 15 good minutes this morning. You got to watch what you look at. If you keep your eyes on him, guess what? He's already above what you're going through. If my eyes is on God and God is above what I'm going through, that means anytime it's too hard for me, he can step on my situation. Some of y'all just missed that. Y'all just didn't catch that. If God is above my situation and he's above me, anytime there's something that is not him, that is hindering me from him, he can step on it.
Yeah, he will.
Y'all still missing this. Y'all still missing this. If God is above me and there's something that is hindering me from him, he has the power to step on it. What are you trying to tell me? That means that's why you have to keep looking at him so you can watch whenever he gets ready to step on it.
Yeah.
See, a whole lot of people lose their focus and we focus on the people and we want to get back at the people and the people can't fix the problem. The people ain't really the problem. There's a principle that they're missing that we all fall short of the glory of God. Y'all, let me get back to the text, y'all. I told y'all I got to teach something. I don't want y'all leaving here saying that he didn't teach me anything. Yeah. Here it says that the scribes and the Pharisees brought unto him, and y'all, the scribes and Pharisees, these are the ones who teach. These are your preachers, you know, your deacons, these are the ones who teach. Now imagine this. They caught the woman in adultery. See, now y'all catch this. You mean sometimes the same people who preach and teach to me are the ones who still ain't fault just like I am?
Watch out, preacher.
Why? Because these are the same ones who came bringing the woman in adultery. If you sat there and was watching the very end, how come you didn't stop her?
Yeah.
How come nobody said you're better than this?
Yeah.
How come nobody said that, come on, honey, I'm going to show you what you're worth. Come on, I'm going to just take you out here just because it's you. How come nobody wanted to step in and stop the problem, but everybody wanted to watch the problem and complain about the problem? I'm preaching right now. Stop the complaining about the problem and get somebody closer to Jesus. They got to see him through your walk. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Don't tell me that he's good and you don't show me he's good. Don't tell me he loves me and you're not willing to show me.
Come on, Pastor.
When I grew up, see this before, you know, they had that nice country time lemonade, you know. Now they got it where you just rip it open, just stick it in there and just add some water and just sweeten it. See, in the country, Grandma used to have lemons. You cut that lemon and then you got all the seeds out of it. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Then you sit there and you squeeze that lemon. You squeeze all that juice out of that lemon. But don't you know, a lemon by itself is bitter. The juice of a lemon it's bitter by itself. Don't you know, sometimes in life you have some bitter moments. And you have them bitter moments because God is squeezing you because there's still something in you that he's got to get out of you. I'm trying to teach you the text, y'all. And so oftentimes it's the squeezing that takes place and you get mad that you're getting squeezed, but guess what? It's for your good because there's something in you he's trying to give birth to, and that is your purpose. And so as he is squeezing, he's sitting there letting you know I have to squeeze you to get you to your destiny, but don't you give up because of the process of the squeeze. I got you in my hands. Let me work on you. So as you squeeze the lemon, the juice comes out of it, but then if you want to make you some lemonade, you add water to it, well, it's still bitter, Pastor. Yeah, because you need the ingredient called sugar.
Well,
when you add the sugar to it, you can make it as sweet as you want it to be. And see, a whole lot of people's lives are bitter because they don't have Jesus in it.
come on.
They missing the sugar. See, whenever you get Jesus in it, he's sweet, I know.
Yes.
Storm clouds may rise, strong winds may blow, but I can tell the world wherever I go that I found me a Savior and he's sweet. I wish I had one. Anybody in here ever just tasted of God? Yeah. Have you ever had some bitter moments where you're just sick of people? I'm sick of my family. I'm sick of my friends. I'm sick of time to church people. I'm in a bitter moment. But all I came to tell you, get a hold of Jesus. Just sweeten it up.
Yes, Lord.
When Jesus begins to sweeten it up, guess what? He might even separate you from the very thing that you thought you needed.
Yes, he will,
See,
right?
whenever you're working on that lemon, it separates the seeds out of it. You ain't gonna sit there and eat the seeds. So the seeds get separated out of it as you keep twisting and twisting on that lemon and you start squeezing. The only thing that is, there's something valuable in it. Come on. See, what I'm trying to get you to see is, even though this woman here, she was caught in adultery, she got handled, they grabbed her. You imagine how people be squeezing you, trying to grab you by your arm. Come on, I'm gonna bring you in here to justice. I'm gonna show you. You shouldn't have been caught in it, but you watched me the whole time, didn't say nothing. But now I shouldn't be caught in it. So now they got a squeeze on her, but then they come bringing her to Jesus. Now, I want to teach y'all about this text because it's something that I've been reading this text for a long time, and I never did look at it. Verse number 4 says, they said to him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery, the very act. Now, Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned, but what says that? Y'all, conflict cannot survive without your participation.
You right.
Hope y'all catch this right now.
I'm with you.
Conflict cannot survive without your participation.
Teach.
So what they wanted was Jesus to join in on the conflict.
Yeah.
So the conflict can keep on going. Oh, I'm trying to help somebody. Don't you know that all the things people want to do, they want to join in on your mess?
Yeah.
Everybody want to talk about you when you're down. And oftentimes we done got it to where God has been cleaned us up, and now because we look clean on the outside, we don't feel like we need God anymore. I'll be at your street in just a minute. Conflict cannot survive without participation. So that means whenever people get ready to bring a mess to you, quit participating in it and just ignore it.
Yeah.
See, if you ignore it, see, this is what Jesus is trying to teach us. Here they come with all of these conflicts on, this is what we're supposed to do. Here goes another problem. What would you do? I'm telling you, Jesus, this is what I would do, because don't you know that just gets on my nerves? Look at her. Look at her. She got caught in the very act. What you going to do about it? What you going to say about it? Sometimes people don't even deserve you to respond to them.
Yeah. Right.
I'm trying to help a whole lot of folks this morning. Sometimes it doesn't warrant a response. Sometimes being silent is the best thing.
Yeah.
Because when you got peace with God, I don't have to respond to you, but my God can take care of you.
Yeah.
And when God begins to take care of you, guess what? He's going to put you in the proper place. Bring this here, y'all. Yo, I'm trying to fix this text for you. I want y'all to get a good understanding of this. Because here it is. They come bringing all these issues, all these problems. They come accused. Now, you imagine this. People who bring gossip, don't it seem like there's a bunch of them? You think about that for a minute. You don't never just have one gossiper, Sister Maya. You always got a few of them that come bringing the same mess.
Well.
And the more and more y'all looking at me funny. Okay, let me get to you this way. I'm country, okay? So my grandma always told me, whenever you see a stray dog, don't feed it. Because if you feed it, you'll never get rid of it.
You're right.
Y'all act like y'all come on, sing with me here. Don't ever feed a stray dog, because if you feed a stray dog, then you'll never get rid of it. It'll always be there with you. And that's what happens whenever it comes to people who got me. We keep feeding them, and that's why they keep coming back, because you ain't ignoring them. And the more and more you feed them, all they want to do is see you upset. Yeah, honey, I look too good to be mad.
Well.
So they want you to feed into it. And so they'll keep coming back. The more and more you feed into it, child, guess what I heard today? Did you know? And it ain't never that Jesus saves. It's always that, child, you know there was so-and-so's daughter out there. Was it now? She just like her mama. Wasn't that you just a couple, I think that was you about 2 weeks ago. I'm trying to help somebody here. And look at this. These accusers, and this is gonna blow y'all's mind. These accusers right here in the text, they go and they talk to Jesus. Y'all catch this. Gossipers, I caught you in that. They go to talk to Jesus. What's sad is people with issues, people who always want to gossip, it's sad that they are talking to God more than what we talk to him.
Well.
Y'all, I'm trying to preach to somebody right now. Even the devil talks to God. Y'all looking at me funny. I gotta really bring this thing in. Even the devil talks to God in Job chapter 1. The devil sat there and was talking with God, and God said, have you considered my servant Job? Even the devil talks to him. Even the devil talks to Jesus whenever Jesus was there. He said, if you be God, if you be him, turn these stones into bread. Even he talks to him. It's sad that the devil can talk to God more than what we can. But I have made up in my mind that I refuse to allow the devil to talk to my God more than me, because I need him more than what he does.
Yeah.
These accusers in this text, y'all know someone like this. They accuse you for the thing that they're not doing, but they never look at the thing that they are doing.
Well.
Y'all, I'm trying to teach this text.
That's all right.
Y'all know somebody like that. They accuse you for what you're doing because they know what you're doing is the highlight. And because they think you don't know what they're doing, they don't talk about it. My sin might not be your sin, but it's still sin.
You right about it.
It's funny, I got to really teach the text here. Look at this here, y'all, in the text. Look at this. It says, now Moses said in the law, commanded us that such should be stoned, but what says thou? Then he goes on and says, this they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down and with his finger rolled on the ground as though he heard them not. All Jesus did was simply ignore them. Because when people bring accusation against you, all you need to do is send up an adoration unto God.
Yeah.
Look at this. Jesus is like, I know what y'all are getting ready to say. They said, tempting him. I know y'all are getting ready to bring me some mess. Don't you know? See, it's something in your life, you know, when certain people call. You know, now they got their call ID, Brother Busby. They fancy now. You know, we used to not have that. You know, phones we used to have, some of y'all might know, some of y'all, I know y'all in the other age. But we used to have them phones where you had to take your finger and ring it all the way around. Y'all, I'm trying to explain this to you. I got a couple still at my house. And you got mad if you messed up on the number because you had to start all over.
Hang it up.
And when people called, you didn't know who was on the other line. The phone rang, you answered. Somebody didn't want to talk to you, just hung up, but you answered. We didn't have call ID. So we didn't know who was calling. Now, we got call ID. We know who's calling. We know they messy, but we want to answer that phone. Knowing they ain't got nothing good for you, but they're going to taint your spirit. Y'all, I'm getting ready to preach about this woman here in just a moment, y'all. And the reason why I'm trying to help you is, stop answering the phone for everybody. You ain't got to answer for everybody. If you treated gossipers like you treat bill collectors, they'll never reach you.
Right.
Y'all, I'm going to fix this text, y'all. Look at this here in the text, y'all. They said tempting him, that they might accuse him, but Jesus stooped down to the ground and began to write. Let me tell you something. Whenever people start to accuse you, shut up. Come on. First point I want to make to you is the point of the day, is the highlight of the day. When people get ready to shut up. I know you want to get them. Ooh, this past week, I wanted to get a few folks. I want to get them. Oh, I want to get them. And every time I got ready to think I was getting ready to get them, even at Walmart, somebody come, hey, Pastor Bush. Whoa, God bless you. Oh, because you want to get them. And God had to bring me into this text. He said, whenever you are ready to get some people, shut up. The first thing you need to do is get down on your knees. I hope y'all catch this. Before you respond to people, make sure you got down on your knees and talk to God first. Because he'll let you know if you need to say anything, if you just need to keep quiet. Yeah. Don't you know I'll give you everything that you need? Yes. Look at this, as Jesus stooped down. This man began to write. And look, it goes on to tell you, it says, he wrote on the ground as though he heard them not. All he did was just write. I ain't heard nothing you said. See, I told y'all, Bible study, I get in trouble sometimes. Because ESPN be on, my wife be talking, and I just don't pay attention. She be really talking. And I'm like, first take is on. And she be really talking. You know how it is when y'all really got something to say. And she was just really, really talking. Did you hear me, Chris? Ain't heard nothing. Don't know what she said. Because I didn't pay it any attention. Now, what she was saying probably was very valuable to me. And so she talking about it was. I could have missed out on a meal. I mean, that's sad. It probably was very valuable to me. But I was ignoring it. Now, let me tell you something. If I ignore somebody that I love, why is it that we attract to people who don't love us? Oh, can I fix the text, y'all? We attract to people who don't love us, then we get mad that we with them. Wow. You get so mad that you with them, but you were never attracted to them in the first place. You thought you were because of how they presented themselves to be. Yeah. Don't you know? I told them, people are good for the first 3 months. After the first 3 months, they ain't holding doors no more. After the first 3 months, they ain't even buying dinner no more. because I'm talking about you right now. After the first, oh, they the greatest person ever. First 3 months, you just singing your songs. You just so happy as can be. You just, my girl, my girl, my girl. Talking about my girl. Oh, you just skate. Yes. My girl. You so excited. For them 3 months going, you done got yourself into it. I bust the windows out your mouth. Why? Because oftentimes we're attracted to people who don't mean us any good. And if you don't find Jesus in them, they're not going to help you. Y'all, I got to preach this the way I want to preach it now. Let me tell you something. You have to watch your attraction. Here this woman was. She got caught in adultery, and if you notice in the text, you never see anything about the man. That further lets you know he must have been a weak man because he didn't even show up. Yeah. I'm with you, but I don't even defend you. That's weak. Y'all, man, don't, it's all right. I ain't man bashing. I'm just telling you the truth. So nobody ever looks at why didn't the man ever have anything said to him? Yeah. Don't it take two to have adultery? Yeah. She couldn't do it by herself. It takes two. Right. Yeah, it takes two, baby. Yeah, it takes two. But only one of them was the only one who seemed to be in trouble. Something is wrong with us whenever all we want to care about is one person's sin and not our own. I'm preaching and y'all ain't saying nothing. Yeah. Something that's happened to us to where we want to look at one person and focus on theirs and don't want to look at ourselves. You have to take a look in the mirror before you get ready to try and sweep around somebody else's door. Sweep around your own. Why you say that, Pastor? Because the truth of the matter is you'll never stop sweeping at your own. Well, hello somebody, I'm preaching and y'all ain't saying nothing. If you take a look at yourself, there's too much stuff I need to sweep. Don't be sweeping it under the rug. Lift up that rug too. Well, you'll never have time to focus on anybody else. Man, I didn't know how dirty I was. Yeah. Come on. Man here, caught in adultery, y'all. I try to fix this text, y'all, and I'm getting ready to preach about this woman. Because see, there's something about this woman that just speaks to me. Y'all hearing this text, verse 7 says, so when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, he that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. I thought about, for this demonstration, I was going to get a bag, give everybody some rocks. I decided not to. Because it would be something how a lot of us would throw the bag and forget that it was us too. Y'all, I'm going to fix this text later. The reason why I'm trying to teach this is because we have to learn how to love the God in everyone. If I focus on the mess in you, I'll never love you. That's good. If I focus on the evil in you, I probably won't even be in your presence. I can't stand you. But if I focus on that the same God who created me created you, that makes me love you. That makes me look beyond your ignorance so I can sit there and talk with you. Why? Because I realize the same God who loves me loves you. The same God who turned me around can turn you around. The same God who fixed my heart can fix your heart. That's what makes me love you. It's not because you're so good or you do such a great job. You don't do nothing. But it's the God in you that does everything for me that makes me appreciate you. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm trying to fix this. And again, he stooped down on the ground, wrote on the ground. Verse 9 says, and they which heard it, being convicted by their conscience, went out one by one, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. Let me tell you something. When Jesus don't give them the answer that they want to, Jesus will make people just leave you alone. Jesus sat there and gave them a word. He was without sin cast the first stone. The older ones, I done slept with somebody I shouldn't have slept with too. I better not throw no stone. I got to let my bag go. All the way down to the youngest one. I've been watching stuff I shouldn't have been watching. I got to let that go. Now you imagine this, all these people, they were so convinced that we're going to get her. But now all of a sudden, they started realizing, if it wasn't for the grace of God, it would have been me. Yeah. So I'm going to leave this woman alone. They leave it alone to the point to where Jesus gets her alone. Now is where the sermon actually begins. Jesus is trying to get you alone. Can I help somebody? Yes. Why your relationship don't work? Jesus trying to get you alone. Why you ain't got the same friends? Jesus trying to get you alone. Why you can't sleep at night? Jesus is trying to get you alone. Why all of a sudden that you don't even want the same substance? Jesus is trying to get you alone. He's trying to get you alone so he can actually speak to you and speak into you.
Yeah.
Some people are afraid to be alone. Don't be afraid to be alone. Enjoy it. Wife, we got back together. She lived in Dallas. One woman who did everything. She enjoyed her time by herself. Even to the point now to where she don't bother me 24/7, brother. She go out, she do her own thing. She'll go out, she want to go shopping, go get her nails done. It's by herself. I don't have to. I ain't got to go. She goes by herself. There's things that she likes to do that I might not like to do. She goes by herself. She still enjoys some of her alone time. And oftentimes in her alone time, God speaks with her in her alone time. Because if you're sitting there have other people occupying your time, when do you have time for God to talk to you? I'm preaching and y'all ain't saying nothing. If everybody else is on your mind, then God can't even speak to you. If all the time you got yourself on Facebook and your face not in the book, he can't talk to you. All the time you can sit there and tweet, but you can't even think. God can't talk to you. Sad as young people can do the name they ain't never read Nahum. We can do everything else but give him some time. He wants you alone for a reason because guess what? He gonna show you who he created you to be. And whenever you get back to your alone state with him, he begins to show you what your value is. And whenever he shows you your value, guess what? I begin to walk different. I begin to talk different. I begin not to hang around in the same places with the same messy people because they don't have nothing to do with my destiny or my future in God.
Right.
If you are not about God, I don't have nothing to talk to you about. Because my future is in him. My tomorrow is in him. Everything I am is in him. If he ain't in the picture, I can't kick it with you. Teaching some of my kids, my goddaughter, I done told her, sat there and told my nieces, tell them your uncle is older. I don't even go to movies late at night. True story, y'all. Go to movies late at night. I'm older. I really try to be in bed. Y'all gonna laugh at me. I really try to be in bed by 10 o'clock, 10:30, no later than 10:30. I really do. Because I realize anytime after that time, ain't nothing good getting ready to happen. Well, I decided I'm gonna go to the late night movie. Really? Did you now? Ain't nothing happening at the late night movie because you ain't even watching it because you sleepy. Ain't nobody watching no movie. That's why ain't nobody watching no movie at no 11 o'clock. You ain't watching the movie. Doing everything else. And I try to portray to them that ain't nothing good gonna happen after hours because that's exactly when the devil wants to work on you. Yeah. He works on you while you are in the dark so you can't see your way. I'm preaching to y'all, ain't saying nothing. So whenever you are in the dark, that's why he begins to, you get that late night phone call. They ain't called you in 2 years. Ain't wanted to see you, didn't come by just to say hello. They only called 1:30, 2 o'clock. Can I come over? You ought to be asleep. But instead, the door opens. Now, y'all, I'm getting ready to fix this text. Jesus said, can I get some alone time? All I need is alone time with you. Can I get it for one time? Give me some alone time so then I can change everything in you. But guess what? When God can't get his alone time, he'll sit there and change your environment to make people get out your way because he's going to get it whether you want him to or not. So what he does is he'll put you in a certain situation to where you know good well you're getting ready to fall all into temptation, but yet he's going to sit there and bring you to him one way or another. And what happens is God has to bring us to him so that he can get ready to show us who we are. So here he says that he left us standing in the midst, and when Jesus had lifted up himself, he saw none but the woman. He said unto her, woman, where are those thine accusers? Have no man condemned thee? Ain't nobody condemn you. Where they at? Them same ones who dogged you, where they at? Same ones who didn't care about you, where they at? Show me them. Same ones who said that you'll never amount to anything, where they at? Same ones who said that I can't work in you, where are they at? Same ones who you thought you would never be without, where are they at now? You without them because you need me more than you need them.
Yeah.
Goes on and says, y'all know him at verse 11, benediction coming. She said, no man, Lord. And Jesus said unto her, neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. Now what Jesus literally said, he said, look, I know you made a mistake, but I'm going to forgive you for your mistake. But what I am going to tell you is, go, but there was a key, and sin no more. Some of y'all are like, but he should have just went ahead and just killed her. She gonna sit there and mess up again. Jesus said, go, sin no more. After you see what he just did for you, how I just covered all of your mistakes, you shouldn't want to be back here in front of me. Y'all missed that. Y'all missed that. After I sat there and wiped everything that your mom and them don't know about, that you hope some of the other people you were with don't know about, you hope they were too drunk or too high, I wiped all of that clean. Now I'm telling you to go. And when he tells you to go, he's saying, now I want you to go forward with your life without looking back to your past. Whenever you go forward with your life, it is, I have no need to look back because everything that's behind me is there for a reason. I have to move forward to see what God is trying to bring me into. If I don't move forward, I will stay in my past. And guess what? You can't heal yourself of your past.
Right.
People right now, they sitting there dealing with their past, y'all. I'm ending right now. Minded of a story. Preacher said a good way to understand Jesus and what he did for us. He said, imagine yourself being on trial. And the devil is on one side. And you're sitting there and the devil is sending all his accusations to God, who is the judge. And God asks you, did you do all of those things? And you say, Lord, I'm guilty. And then the bailiff says, don't you have an attorney? And they said, no, I couldn't afford an attorney. He said, that's all right. God said, the court is going to appoint you an attorney. Then your attorney who walks in is Jesus. As Jesus stands there, the devil on the other side going up against you, and God sits there and he says, your client has done all of these things, and he has the gavel raised. And he's getting ready to bring the gavel down to say guilty as charged. And right before he gets ready to bring it down, Jesus says, can I approach the bench? God says, come on and approach the bench. He said, now, I know that you want to condemn my client for all that they have done. They are guilty, but I already paid for that. And since I paid for that, you have to wipe their slate clean. Then Jesus goes back and says, well, God, what is going to be your judgment? God hits the gavel and says, I find the defendant not guilty. Can you imagine yourself, out of all that you have done that wasn't right, how God finds you not guilty? Then can you look at somebody else and say, I know you might be messing up right now, but that's all right. The same one who wiped my slate clean, he'll wipe yours clean. If you come to him. Y'all, the doors of the church are open. I ask my deacons to come forth.